Hello, everyone. This is Shad Reis from CVI 2025. I'm privileged to be with my friend and colleague, Dr. Poonam Velagapudi, to talk about a very important topic, which is burnout. It's we don't talk about it. We shy. Our ego doesn't tell us, but it's a real problem.
Yeah, this is a real problem, Shari, and I've learned more about burnout in these last couple of year or two. And this year, I'm also co-chair of the Sky Wellness Subcommittee. So, we've been dealing a lot with how to improve wellness for members because it's really, really important. And just today, I did speak about causes of burnout. On my, review of all the literature, it seems like burnout is not inconspicuous. 25% to 70% of cardiologists
Wow.
have burnout. So that's, when it's more than 50%, we got to be like thinking, why is this happening? And so there's several causes for that, right? One is the most important thing is we don't have enough interventional cardiologists or even cardiologists. By 2030, we are probably going to have a lot of deficiency for subspecialists, and especially in regions that are non-metro, right? So that's very important. People are going to work harder and longer. And so you got to take care of yourselves too.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's one of the important causes. The second thing is, a lot of administrative stuff, and you know well
Yeah.
how EMR is such a, you spend more time with charting and all that rather than spend
2 to 3 hours a day,
patients. Yeah,
every
exactly.
day.
And when you go back home, you're doing all that
Yeah.
stuff, right? And plus all the administrative work, all the meetings, and the industry and societal work that we do, everything adds up. So it's an administrative burden. And then let's talk about our own selves, personal
Yeah.
lives. You don't have time for family. How many times have we said, yes to work and no to family and
A lot.
our own selves,
A
right?
lot.
And so that's really important to look at. And at Sky, we actually recently did the survey for occupational hazards in 2023. 66% of the survey respondents said they have musculoskeletal pain from wearing lead. And there were a lot of people, about 5 to 6%, who had, radiation-related issues. So these are not, you cannot ignore these things, because when you're wearing lead for 20 years, 30 years, then you kind of have to really, pay attention to things that can help us get off lead, like all the newer radiation protection systems, etc.
Yeah.
So I did lay out all these problems for causes, and there were other speakers who talked about solutions to these problems. I think it's
So
not
what are
a
the red flags like the operator should be aware of that he's burning out, but he doesn't know or she
It's a
doesn't
very
know?
good question. So there is two things. The first is stress, and then burnout. So there is depersonal. So stress is actually an adrenaline state when your responses are all hyper. So you're very quickly responding to things. Whereas once you reach that stage of burnout, it's very depersonalized. So it's flat effect. You're not interested in the things you're routinely doing. So it's sort of like a curve where it goes from simple things like you're not interested in doing something to even collapse. So it's really important to identify burnout early so that we can, institute ways to beat it. There's the MASLAC burnout inventory. There's the American Psychiatry Association survey, AMA, Mini-Z. So there's other various ways where either you can answer that yourself or have seek help, so you can
I should
identify
do
whether
one.
or not you're burned out.
Yeah.
I know we're laughing, but it's really, think about
Such a
it
problem.
on a individual level, where especially doctors don't seek out help, right? And it can spiral into some things that you cannot get out of. So it's very important that you recognize, not just for yourself, but your colleagues around you. If you see something, say something,
Yeah.
so we can help other people. So I think it's really important that as an individual, as an institution, as a society, we all have to work towards, kind of identifying the problem and then bringing solutions
Absolutely.
to
It's
beat
number
it.
one,
Yes.
recognize the problem, and two, work on not getting into it. And if you get
Yes.
into it, try to pull yourself out.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Thank
And
you,
I
Poonam.
think, yeah,
Thank
and
you.
meetings like these are a great way
Yeah.
where you can identify and
Absolutely.
talk to each other and learn
And
from each
and
other.
as you said, it's not too late. But as you said, now there's a wellness council, Sky, your co-chair. So this is, I think, because based on the awareness and the problem that has started to surface and become very obvious.
Yes, exactly. And we're having we're going to have some webinars. We've already had last year, and this year we're planning on a lot of other webinars like financial well-being or for member like divorce and other things that not often talked about, kind of problems, which is also as important as patient care. Self-care is as important as patient care,
absolutely.
because if you're happy, your patients, you do a
Happy
good job
and
with
family
the
happy.
patient.
Absolutely.
Yes, yeah.
Poonam, thank you again for your
Yes.
time and
Thank you,
expertise.
Shari.
Watch his videos and others on YouTube channel. This is Shadi Race coming to you from CVI 2025.